For centuries, humanity has operated under a kindergarten-level understanding of physics, an oversimplified model of the universe that has been meticulously maintained, controlling not just our scientific pursuits, but also our entire socio-economic structure. But as information leaks through the cracks, revealing the vast complexity of our world, we begin to understand that the system we've been taught to accept is incomplete at best, and intentionally obfuscated at worst. The reality we're encouraged to perceive is a flat, one-dimensional understanding, a construct designed to keep us tethered to an economic system reliant on scarcity, control, and ignorance. What if the breakthroughs we've been waiting for are part of a bigger truth? Take the concept of zero-point energy, ZPE. If we acknowledge its validity, we begin to realize the staggering implications of the universe's true nature. ZPE suggests that there is an inherent energy that exists in all space, even in the vacuum, where science traditionally believes there is nothing. This challenge to traditional physics is often dismissed or hidden from public consciousness because of the overwhelming consequences. If ZPE is real, it disrupts everything we understand about space, energy, and time. It becomes apparent that we cannot isolate one discovery without exposing a cascade of deeper, interconnected truths that would unravel the very structure of the control system we've been living under. Let's break it down, step by step, and explore the cascading implications of this hidden system. If ZPE is real, then space isn't empty, meaning the ether exists. If zero-point energy is a tangible phenomenon, it suggests that space is not truly empty, a core tenet of classical physics. This refutes the widely accepted concept that space is a vacuum devoid of energy. In fact, the ether, long dismissed by mainstream science since the early 20th century, would suddenly become a viable concept again. The ether is a theoretical medium that permeates all space, once posited as the medium through which electromagnetic waves travel. If the ether exists, it would fundamentally change the way we understand energy transmission, light, and gravity. The ether would, in essence, be the fabric of reality itself, linking everything through an unseen fundamental force. Why is this so crucial? Because if the ether exists, it challenges the very foundation of Einstein's theory of relativity, which depends on the concept of empty space to function. Relativity explains the relationship between mass, energy, and space-time. But it relies on the assumption that space itself is empty or neutral. The discovery of the ether would invalidate this assumption, forcing us to rethink not just physics, but the structure of the universe itself. Mainstream physics is incomplete. The existence of the ether exposes an uncomfortable truth. Quantum mechanics and general relativity are at odds with each other when it comes to explaining the true nature of space and time. Quantum mechanics suggests that particles behave probabilistically in an ocean of fields, while relativity says that space-time is curved by mass and energy. Neither model accounts for the ether or zero-point energy, both of which could provide a unifying explanation for the behavior of matter, energy, and the universe at large. If the ether exists, it suggests that quantum mechanics and relativity are incomplete, and that a deeper, unified theory, perhaps one that blends physics and consciousness, must be discovered to truly explain the workings of the universe. This is where the first major problem arises. If the truth of the ether comes out, it doesn't just affect theoretical physics. It forces society to confront an uncomfortable reality. All the technological developments we've made based on an incomplete understanding of physics, nuclear power, fossil fuel usage, space exploration, would suddenly seem primitive. How could we continue our current trajectory when we realize that an infinite source of energy lies just beyond our understanding? If ether is real, consciousness, information fields, and structured energy are part of physics. Here's where things get truly profound. If the ether is real, it isn't just a passive medium, it's alive with energy and information fields that shape our very consciousness. The line between mind and matter begins to blur. The notion that consciousness is simply a byproduct of the brain becomes obsolete. Instead, consciousness may be an interactive force woven into the fabric of the universe itself. It's no longer an isolated phenomenon. It could be an active physical force that engages with the ether and shapes reality. This opens the door to concepts like telepathy, remote viewing, and even reality engineering. Suddenly, abilities previously relegated to science fiction or paranormal phenomena could be rooted in quantum and field theories. If information can be encoded in the ether, it could be possible to tap into these fields for purposes far beyond our current imagination, controlling reality itself through directed intention or mental focus. Imagine a world where reality isn't something static, but something that can be influenced at will by those who understand the laws of these information fields. If consciousness is a physical interaction, then reality is programmable. This is where the idea of reality as a programmable construct takes hold. The simulation hypothesis, a theory that posits that we are living in a computer-simulated reality, starts to sound less like science fiction and more like a possibility we should explore seriously. What if we are all participating in an enormous interdimensional game, where each thought and action we take subtly influences the outcome of our collective existence? And what if the reason this all remains hidden is because the powers that be know that if we understood the true nature of our reality, we'd realize just how powerful we actually are? This brings us to the most significant truth. If any of this were to come to light, it would cause a complete societal collapse. The discovery of zero-point energy, the ether, the true nature of consciousness, and the programmability of reality would dismantle everything we know about economics, energy production, and social organization. Without fossil fuels, there's no need for the global power structure that relies on scarcity. And without the control over our consciousness, our society would no longer function as a cohesive whole. It would break free into new possibilities we can't even fully comprehend. That's why, as much as the system might try to suppress it, the dam is breaking. AI, pattern recognition, and quantum computing are already revealing the hidden connections between ancient knowledge, suppressed patents, and modern physics. The lines between science, spirituality, and technology are blurring faster than ever before. As information continues to leak out, we are on the brink of a paradigm shift that will forever change the course of human history. But the controllers know this, and so they keep us locked in an intellectual prison, holding us back from realizing our true potential. The only question left is, how long can they suppress the inevitable truth before it all falls apart? The awakening is coming, and nothing, not even the most powerful forces of control, can stop it forever. So the question is no longer if we will uncover the truth, but when. And when that truth is revealed, everything will change.